Hello, boys and girls. I hope you're all having a really lovely day. So let's have a look at the story we're going to read today. Will we have a look at the front cover first, and let's have a little chat about that. So here's the front cover. What can you see on the front cover? I can see a big mouse and a little tiny baby mouse. And this big circle shape, what's that? The moon, yeah. And do we think it's daytime or nighttime for this story? I think you're right. I think it's the nighttime because the moon is out and the cover looks a bit dark. And so what do you think this story might be about? I think the story might be about a mummy mouse and a baby mouse and something that happens in the nighttime. So the title of this story is By the Light of the Moon. And the author of this story is Sheridan Kane. And this is another name underneath, Gabby Hanson. And this says the story is illustrated by Gabby Hanson. Do we remember what illustrated by means? Illustrated by means that this person drew all of the lovely pictures for the book. So they did all the drawings and all the pictures for the book. And so they're called the illustrator. So this book was illustrated by Gabby Hanson. Shall we read the story and find out what happens? Great idea. The moon shone bright in the evening sky as Mother Mouse watched over Little Mouse. He lay curled and snugly tight, a grassy nook for his bed. High above, a starry blanket twinkled silver bright. "Sleep tight, little mouse," she whispered. Mole tumbled through the hedge, tripping over Mother Mouse. "Mother Mouse," he said, "you cannot leave your baby there. The farmer is coming to plough the field. That bed's not safe." "Oh dear," said Mother Mouse, hugging Little Mouse close. "Where can my little mouse sleep?" "Perhaps his bed should be underground," said Mole. "That's where Little Mouse could sleep." So Mother Mouse scritched and scratched the soft earth. Soon the hole was deep, and she tucked Little Mouse into his new bed. Little Mouse snuggled down, but he could not settle. There was no moon. "Mamma," he cried, "it's so dark, I cannot sleep." Owl, watching from the willow tree, heard Little Mouse cry. He flew down. "Mother Mouse," he said, "that bed is much too dark for Little Mouse." "Oh my," said Mother Mouse, "where can my little mouse sleep?" "Perhaps where the moon is brighter," said Owl. "Up there in the tree is where Little Mouse could sleep." Mother Mouse scrambled onto the branch of the willow. She spied an empty nest and placed Little Mouse in his new bed. Little Mouse snuggled down, but the wind was strong and his bed felt wobbly. "Mamma," he cried, "I'm dizzy. It's very high up here. I might fall out." Duck awoke. She had heard Little Mouse cry. "Mother Mouse," she called, "that bed is far too high for Little Mouse." "Oh dear me," said Mother Mouse, "where can my little mouse sleep?" "A bed of reeds would be nice and cozy," said Duck. "That's where Little Mouse could sleep." So Mother Mouse took Little Mouse to the river's edge. She hopped and jumped and flattened the reedy leaves, then placed Little Mouse in his new bed. Little Mouse snuggled down, but soon he felt cold. "Mamma," he cried, "I don't like this squishy squashy bed. It's damp and I might sink." Mother Mouse carried Little Mouse back to the river bank. Hugging him tight, she hung her head and sighed. "Where, oh where, can my little mouse sleep?" She looked into Little Mouse's eyes. They sparkled bright in the soft light of the moon. Mother Mouse looked up at the moon, and the moon winked back at her. Mother Mouse smiled. She thought back to when she was small. She remembered her mother's bright eyes watching over her. She remembered her blanket of silver stars, and she remembered the soft light of the moon shining above her. Mother Mouse looked toward the field that had been her home since she was tiny. Her eyes sparkled. The farmer had been, but in the shelter of the big tree her home was safe. Mother Mouse carried Little Mouse back to his old bed. She laid him gently down. Little Mouse snuggled tight. "Mother," he yawned, "this is my bed. It's just right." "Of course it is," said Mother Mouse, smiling. "Sleep tight, Little Mouse." Now, what did you think of that story, boys and girls? The Mother Mouse was looking everywhere for the Little Mouse for somewhere to sleep, and she couldn't find anywhere. But luckily she remembered that the best place for Little Mouse to be was in his own bed in his own house. What a lovely little story about the lovely Mother Mouse looking after Little Mouse. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you all have a great day. See you later, boys and girls.